30 to 10. That day, I'm told the donkey was a very happy animal until the dog inquired from him, "What is it you are happy today, and yet you are being mistreated by this man?" Then the donkey confided in the dog what had transpired between him and God. And the dog also decided to go. He told God, "The 30 years you have given me to live with this man, I cannot finish, because it's very, very hard." Then from 30 to 10. So God also agreed and reduced the dog years from 30 years to 10 years by removing 20. Somehow, the man also heard about what had transpired between God and the donkey, God and the dog. So the man also decided to go to God. He gave some courage and went to God and told God, "The 20 years you removed from the donkey, the 20 years you removed from the dog, totaling 40 years. Add them to my 30 years, so that I now live 70 years. And I'm told that's the reason that the man now lives 70 years. But I want to teach you some lesson on this story. The original 30 years that God gave us, or God gave human beings, the most important years of our lives. And you must develop yourself business-wise. You must develop yourself education-wise, so that if it is learning, you learn. If it is establish business, you establish a business, you become an entrepreneur within the original 30 years. Immediately, you finish the human years. Those who are still 20, 25, up to 30, you will now, the moment you reach 30 years, you will now start living the 20 years that the dog left that the donkey left behind. And these are very, very heavy years. You can ask those who are between 30 and 50 years, the kind of load they are carrying, like the donkey. Your wife is pregnant, she's giving birth at night. You don't have a car. And she's crying. You have to do something about it. Your son is being sent out from school for fee, or your daughter. You have to do something about it. Your parent, your father, your mother is sick. You have to do something about it. But let me teach you today that if you are adequately well prepared within the original 30 years, human years, the donkey years will be lighter, but still they are coming. But if you are not adequately well prepared during the human years, the donkey years will be impossible. They'll be very, very heavy indeed. So I'm encouraging us as youth to prepare ourselves by establishing our businesses, which I shall tell you how to do it, and doing other things that will ease our donkey years, but they are coming. The moment we reach 50 years, you now take the dog years. The 20 years that the dog has left behind, you start barking like a dog. Your daughter is pregnant out of wedlock. "My daughter, I told you, you are embarrassing the family. What is this you are doing?" Your son has impregnated somebody else's daughter. "My son, what is this?" Your son has stolen. He's being sought by police. They come to home. "My son, what is it?" You bark like a dog. For another 20 years. And then you reach 70 years. And we die. If God gives you grace, you can live grace years, 70, 80, 90. So I specifically want to sensitize the young people that you must make good years of the original 30 years that God gave us. I just want to say that many people look at big things and then they don't want to start small things. I just want to give you several stories of young people like you who have succeeded. The first one, there was a young man who finished Form 4 at the age of 18 years. Then he was employed as a houseboy to an engineer. The engineer employed him as a houseboy. That is a very, very lowly paid job. So because sometimes, as I've said, most of us, we want to see what is big, but we don't realize that it is important to start from somewhere. So this young man started as a houseboy to an engineer. And then I'm told he used to do his work very, very well. He was very, very active. Wherever the engineer gave him any work to do, he would tell the engineer, the work you gave me to do, I have finished, what else do I do? I have finished, what else do I do? Until the engineer was very, very impressed. Because again, working is like eating. You don't say, I don't want to eat. That if I eat, I'll grow fat, I'll wear my clothes and I'll not get big ones. Fit me, just eat. The moment you grow fat, big clothes will automatically take care of themselves. So just do your work effectively, and then bigger jobs will also automatically take care of themselves. And I want you about this particular houseboy. I'm calling him a houseboy with a vision. But you have many houseboys without vision. I'll just give an example. Suppose maybe Nairobi or in Kisumu or other towns, you are a houseboy in an estate. And you are a houseboy without a vision. You will take advantage. At the end of the month, you get your salary, you will buy chips, sausages, and sodas for the surrounding house girls. And you become the husband during the day. You take advantage of the fact that the owners of the houses have gone to town to work. And now you move from one house during the day. And then you get this disease of nowadays, AIDS. You put in a coffin and send home to your mother for burial because you are a houseboy without a vision. But this particular one I'm speaking about, this one he is a houseboy with a vision. He does his work very, very well. And if the engineer is impressed with him, now tells him, when you finish your housework, be come into the garage, I'll teach you some mechanics. So the boy is excited at the fact that he'll be going to the garage. So now he wakes up at 4 in the morning, clears the housework, rushes to the garage. At the garage, he's still the best. What else do I do? What else do I do? What else do I do? Until the engineer is impressed for the second time. And now decides to sponsor him university, do some mechanics. At the university, when he clears, then he starts doing some research on pistons for vehicles. And he comes up with very, very efficient pistons. And eventually makes some engines. And during those days, after the depression, the only vehicles that were available in the market were the American Fords. And American Fords were very big vehicles that not everybody could afford to buy them. So this young man making some engines and some small vehicles, he sold millions and millions of units. The young man's name is called Honda. He's the one responsible for the making of the Honda vehicles, the Honda motorcycles, the Honda generators. So Honda is a final product. I want to ask you, as a young person, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, in the next 20 years, what kind of final product would you want to be? Would you want to be a final product to be admired like Honda? Or you want to be a final product to be put in a coffin and sent home to your mother for burial because you're a houseboy without a vision? Another young man, and I'm surprised that most of the very rich people did not go to school. This other young man also finished Form 4 at the age of 18. He realized in their house they were very, very poor. The father was frustrated to the extent that he had taken after drinking local brew. So the boy looked around him. And I'm telling you, solutions to our problems are always around us. You don't even have to go far to look for solutions. So the boy realized, he looked around, and then he realized that his father had been a rich man in the past. And during those days, when the father was a rich man, he had managed to build a very big house. Actually, they had a 12-bedroom house. And then there's nothing to eat in the 12-bedroom house.